Welcome back to the security event 2025. We're down at the Birmingham NEC and you join us on the CIE stand. And I've been joined by our audio extraordinaire, Pete George, expert of the UK professional audio market. Pete, first of all, we're at this security show and of course we're seeing IP everywhere. That trend for everything migrated of course towards IP, but that's also the case with audio as well, and of course with Inter M.
Some people do say, why is audio at security events? In the days of old, it was very much a dark art. So people that worked in audio would only stick to the audio part of the industry. The guys in security, they would only do security. But what with changes to the likes of EN54 with voice alarm, where of course that is security incorporating audio, then the companies naturally merge into the same markets. So what you're finding now is a lot of the security installers are now getting involved in installing audio equipment, everything from EN54 voice alarm systems right the way through to lockdown systems for schools.
And you talk about EN54, but you also talk about IP, and we've got two different product ranges coming from Inter M, Pete.
Yes, we looked at it briefly last year on the Inter M IP audio side of things, which is the IPA100 ecosystem. This is just a standard public address solution. With audio over IP, it's still relatively expensive to go for a pure IP solution. With Inter M on the IPA100, they still have a range of IP speakers. So we have an IP ceiling speaker, an IP horn speaker, an IP cabinet speaker, and we also have a box which allows you to convert any conventional loudspeaker into an IP by plugging a box in the back. But what Inter M have also done is they've really concentrated their efforts on making it hybrid, because certainly myself out in the field, I still see 95% of my jobs are hybrids, because what clients want is the compatibility and the configuration and the ability to control stuff over IP, but they don't want the expense or the sheer issues of having every single speaker being its own IP endpoint, because that gives the problem to the client, such as every single speaker needs a network switch input, that needs a PoE port, it needs an IP address. So it then falls into the realms of the IT guys. And when you go to someone like a school or a company where you want to start putting IP products on their network, that's when things tend to get tricky. So what Inter M do is they've gone down the route I mentioned of the hybrid system. So their devices and the software itself is very much geared up for the hybrid experience. You can have a screen that's got all your inputs on it, like your music sources, your microphones, your messaging, and underneath a tile system that shows you all your output zones, and it allows you in software to make groups, to make announcements, to make pre-recorded messages, and to play them out into different zones.
And of course we're here not just at the security show, we're here at the fire and security show, and Inter M of course have focused also on their voice alarm product. So tell us a little bit about voice alarm. How is that different to standard PA?
Okay, well, first of all, voice alarm, that's designed predominantly large venues and spaces where the public are. If you go to work for Microsoft, for example, you might work in a building of 20, 30,000 people. But you know what, in the event of a fire, you know what to do because you've gone through the induction process, which means, you know where to go when the bell rings, you know where to go for muster and everything else. But if you're, say, shopping at a shopping centre and the alarms go off and it's just a bell, where do you go? You don't know if you run from that exit, from the other exit. What if you're running into where the fire is? So the whole idea behind voice alarm is to give mass notification on a large scale to people, clear instruction as to where to go and what to do in the event of an evacuation or fire.
So that's the application side. Can I use a PA system as a voice alarm system as well, or are they separate technologies?
No, with voice alarm, it has to conform to the standard, which is EN54, and that means the systems themselves have to be monitored. They have to go through a vigorous process of testing to make sure that it meets all the regulations. There's redundancy and also monitoring to make sure that your speakers are working. It just gives you the peace of mind that what you get is a system that is not only safe, it's also monitored.
And within the voice alarm application from Inter M, we have the EVA system. So tell us about the building blocks of the EVA system and how that's applied.
Strangely enough, it's incredibly simple to do. There's only 5 blocks to EVA. There's the EVA matrix, which is the main sort of brain of the system. There's your microphones, your amplification, your batteries and your battery charger, and you've got your end-of-line monitoring units. So With EVA, there's only 5 components to worry about. It will handle, for example, EVA does up to 24 microphones. It will handle a system scaled up to 1,024 zones. Each of those zones can have an AB speaker circuit, so it will handle over 2,048 speaker circuits, and it's all done through software. So it's a very, very simple system to use.
And you talk about software, that user interface is really important to the EVA system, isn't it?
Yeah. With EVA, it's all done through the browser, so you don't have to have like a Windows server on site or anything else. You can go in through Chrome, through Internet Explorer. You could do it even if you want to do it on an iPad if you so wish. So yeah, it's really easy to use.
If you want to find out more about VA systems and of course about the Inter M EVA system, join us at ciegroup.com or of course contact our very own Pete George.
Thanks, Chris.